Hey cactus friends, it's Jenny from Cookies Cacti. We are on my old school camera today because it has the ability to zoom. So about 8 months ago, I published a video on how to grow Euphorbia obesa from seed. At the time that video was published, I had 2 pots of Euphorbia obesa seedlings. This was my older pot, where in that video, I think these had just turned about 3 months old. Well, now they've just passed their 1-year birthday. This pot of seedlings were grown from seed in that video. So we sowed the seeds and we grew them over 4 weeks and tracked their progress as we went. So now we are 8 months later. These guys, I think, just turned 9 months old. Now, since that video was published, I would say the survival rate has been pretty great on both of these pots. However, I have noticed that this pot of seedlings, the obesa seem to be growing pretty slow because these guys are 9 months old now, and I feel like they're kind of on the small side compared to my experience with growing obesa in the past. I have a suspicion on why these are growing slowly, but I can't prove it. So I'll say it anyway. My suspicion is that it's a combination of 2 things: the soil that they're planted in and the frequency of my watering. The soil that they're planted in is, I think, like 50% Unigro, and then the rest of it is inorganics. I think pumice, lava rock, perhaps some akadama in there as well. So it's very coarse and it's very fast draining. And with the way that I am watering them, I just don't think the soil is holding on to the water long enough to these plants' preference. So that's my suspicion. Now, I have these other obesa here, and there's a mix of 2 different types of soils that I'm using. One of them is something closer to this. It's my adult mix, so it's cactus soil and pumice. The other mix is the Miracle Gro seed starter and Miracle Gro perlite. And I'm finding that the plants that are in that Miracle Gro seed starter and perlite mix tend to be doing better. This plant, my second oldest seedling, is in that Miracle Gro mix. This plant, my oldest obesa seedling, is also in that mix. These 2 had recently been transplanted into the Miracle Gro mix, and then the rest of these are all in that cactus soil. And I just have this feeling that the ones in that Miracle Gro mix are plumper and happier. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to repot both of these pots of obesa seedlings into that Miracle Gro mix. So I have already watered these 2 pots of seedlings. We're kind of following that Peter W. transplant methodology. Water first, transplant into moist soil, and then do not water for at least a week after that because they've already been watered and they're in that healing process of being transplanted. So now we're going to cut over to preparing our pots of new soil and getting these out to see what they look like, and then let's do the transplanting together. And we are back. We are doing our repotting indoors today because there's mosquitoes outside and the sun is getting pretty darn strong. So this is back to our old school indoor plant activities, which we're gonna have a lot of as summer approaches. Just like a cooking show, already filled up some pots with moist soil. This soil is Miracle Gro seed starter with Miracle Gro perlite mix, which you can see here, very heavy on the perlite. I'd say roughly 75% perlite to 25% seed starter, and that seed starter is peat moss. I've already wetted down the new soil, so it is moist, not soaking wet, but moist. Let's start with these bigger ones. All right, here we go. So basically these seedlings are coming from wet soil and they're going to go into wet soil as well. I follow that methodology for all of my transplanting. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. Here we go. How are we going to do this? Okay, we'll take them out here. So these are the roots of a Euphorbia obesa seedling. We have like this neck and then this root here. Let's take a look at another one. You see how it's desiccated? So we'll need to do a follow-up video maybe some months from now to see how these guys do in their new homes and whether this basically is another troubleshooting video to a degree. troubleshooting and transplanting all in one. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. Let me zoom in so you can see even better. There. That's what they look like. 1 year old. I feel like they're a little bit small for 1 year. Obesa are fun because they grow faster than cactus. Grab another dirty tray. I have these dirty trays lying around everywhere. I have my magic tools from Sharpgreenthings. We're going to try using this as the dibber this time. I'm thinking about doing maybe 5 of the larger ones per pot. We'll do just a grid of 5. So this is the same method that I transplant everything, and you've all seen this many times, at least those of you who have watched my previous transplanting videos. So I'm going to kind of speed this up. You don't need to see every single step. You can see these, they're all kind of desiccated. Can you see that here? Let's see if they'll plump up in this new stuff. Only way to find out is to wait. 1 pot done. Second pot done. Look at how desiccated this little one is. So these are the 1 year olds. There are 15 seedlings total, and I put 5 per pot, so 3 pots. Now on to the next pot of seedlings. Here's the second pot with the 9-month-olds. So now we can take a look at this soil. So you can see this was from pot number 1. That's what it looks like. Very Unigro base. You see it's not that inorganic, so I don't understand this then, because I thought it was the grittiness. It is gritty, you see that? Very big chunks. I don't get it. Why do they not like it in here? Maybe it's my problem. So we'll see if they do better or not in a different soil medium, but under the same exact care. I will keep these indoors. Obesa tend to not do well for me outdoors here. I don't know why. You see, this is what the seedlings look like. Nice roots, but desiccated. Let's get these potted up. I'm gonna speed it up for you. I'm going to plant it like this and see if it straightens itself out. Okay, that is it. We have finished repotting all of the seedlings. I have pre-made the labels. They all have sow dates and repot dates on the back. So we'll stick these into the pots, do the top dressing, and then we're done. All right, labels have been placed. Top dressing has been top dressed. Let's put them back on the shelf. Let's all wish these little ones luck. I hope they do all right in their new soil and with the transplant. We will not water these for at least a week. As Peter W. says, I'll probably wait at least 2 weeks. These were already watered the day before. They've been transplanted into moist soil, so they should be good on water for a while. A little bit dusty from all that pumice dust, but that's okay. So we will check in later and see how they're doing. Whether the results are good or bad, it doesn't matter. I will just show it to you. So do stay tuned. Probably later in the summer, we will check back on these guys. Happy growing, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.